Good afternoon, students.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, all of you please switch on your videos. Anjana, Abhiram, Amin, Kira, Leo, Ken, Lakshmi, Suryadev, Nivedya, Alvin, all of you please switch on your videos. Okay, so in our last class, we were discussed about the importance of gravitational force, and one more topic that we were introduced in the last class is about free fall and what do you mean by freely falling object. Okay, so we can quickly recall all these topics once again. So starting from, who is here? Tom Jones. What are the importance of gravitational force?
Ma'am, it is the force that binds us to the earth.
Yes.
And the motion of the moon around the earth.
Motion of the moon around the earth. Okay, then.
The motion of the planets around the sun.
Motion of planets around the sun.
And the motion of tides.
Motion of tides. Is it right? The tides due to the gravitational force of attraction between the moon and the sun, right? Okay, all right. Then Suryadev, what do you mean by free fall?
Free fall is the force at when the body falls to the earth in the only influence of gravitational force is called free fall.
Very good. So if the object is moved towards the earth only under the influence of gravitational force of the earth, we can call such motion of an object as free fall, and that body is known as freely falling body. Okay. So if the object is moving under the influence of gravitational force alone, you don't need to say the exact sentence what is written in the slide. You can say it in your own words, because all these are some kind of definition. You can express the same thing in your own words. Free fall is nothing. It is the movement of an object only under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. No other external force is present here. Such movement is known as free fall, and such object is known as freely falling body. Okay, good. Then Hiram, tell me any two examples for free fall.
Ma'am, moon.
Moon is falls towards where? I am asking about the examples for free fall.
Free fall.
Yes.
An apple falling from a tree.
Very good. The falling of an apple from a tree towards the earth. It's an example for free fall. Lynette, any another example? One more example.
The rain falling.
Falling of rain from the sky to the earth. It is another examples for the free fall. Okay, all right. So that is what we were discussing in the last class. So we can continue with the same topic today. So free fall and what do you mean by freely falling object? I hope that all of you have a clear idea about free fall and that of the freely falling object, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now, whenever we discuss this topic free fall, we are already told that if the object initially in the state of a rest, okay, object initially in the state of a rest, whenever it is start or whenever it is drop it from a particular height, it starts to move, it move towards the earth. Okay, then what do you think? What about the velocity of a freely falling object? Velocity. What happens to its velocity? Initially the object is at rest. Then what about the velocity of the object? If you kept any object at a particular height, what about the state of the object? It remains in a state of rest. Okay, if you hold the object at a particular height, the object is in a state of rest. Then what is the velocity according with this particular object? If the object is at stationary, what is the velocity of that object?
Velocity is 0.
Velocity is equal to 0. That is what I am asking here, right? If the object is kept at a particular height for a long time, its velocity is remains 0. But whenever it is dropped from a particular height, what happens to its velocity? Is it remains 0?
No.
No, now it is moves. So whenever it is moving, what happens to its velocity?
Increases.
It increases. That is, a freely falling object possesses a velocity, right? Does the freely falling body or object is possess any kind of velocity?
Yes.
Yes, of course, it possesses a velocity, right? And we know that velocity is a vector quantity. Why we call the velocity as a vector quantity?
Because it is possesses both magnitude and
It
direction.
possesses both magnitude and direction, right? A freely falling object possesses a velocity because initially it is in the state of rest, and whenever it is drops from a particular height, it is moves. So we can say that a freely falling object possesses a velocity. It has both magnitude and direction. And what about the direction of this freely falling object? Is there any change occurs to the direction of the freely falling object? What do you think? You just imagine a stone is dropped from a particular height. How it is moves downwards? Is it is in a zigzag manner by playing disco dance and all, right?
No, straight.
Yeah, no, it comes downwards in a straight manner, right? Is there any change in the direction for a freely falling object?
No.
No, so there is no change in the direction. But what happens to the magnitude of velocity? Is it remains the same? Magnitude of velocity? No, it varies because initially the velocity of the freely falling object is equal to 0. But whenever it is drops from a particular height, its velocity seems to be increases. And what happens to the velocity of a freely falling object when it is reaches on the surface of the earth?
It decreases.
It is decreases and it attains a value is equal to 0, right? So for a freely falling object, we know that it possesses a velocity because initially it is in a state of rest. Whenever it is started to move, it possesses a velocity. It possesses an increasing velocity, and whenever it is reaches to the ground, its velocity again decreases and it is equal to 0. So here we can say there is a rate of change of velocity takes place. And what do you mean by this rate of change of velocity?
Acceleration.
Acceleration. Excellent. Okay, so here we can say a freely falling object is accelerates. Is it right? Here the freely falling object is accelerate because it is possess a velocity and its velocity is initially it's 0, it is increases and again it is decreases. So there is a rate of change of velocities takes place with respect to time. So we can say a freely falling object is accelerate, right? Is there any doubt regarding with this? No. So my next question, who is responsible for the acceleration of this freely falling object?
Gravity.
Gravity. Gravity exerted by whom? Earth. So this is what is known as acceleration due to gravity. So that is what is we are going to discuss today. What do you mean by acceleration due to gravity? If the object falls freely from a particular height towards the earth, it possesses an acceleration. And this acceleration is due to the gravitational force of the earth. So we can call this acceleration as acceleration due to gravity. Is it clear? There is no external forces act on it. Here the acceleration of an object is only due to the presence of gravitational force of the earth. This acceleration possessed by the freely falling object is known as acceleration due to gravity. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you just imagine if you are traveling along a straight road. If you are traveling in a straight road, you need to increase the speed of your vehicle. What action that you are taken here in order to increase the speed of the vehicle?
Yeah.
We will accelerate.
Yes.
We will accelerate.
Great.
Yes, you apply the accelerator. That is, you make an external pressure or external force is applied on the accelerator in order to increase the speed of the vehicle, right? Similarly, in the case of a freely falling object, is there any external person is situated or standing there in order to push the object downwards? No, it is only due to the force of the earth. So acceleration takes place here only due to the presence of gravitational force of the earth. So we can call this acceleration here by a special name, that is what is known as acceleration due to gravity. So all of you write the next heading, acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity.
I cannot see the board.
You cannot see the board? Okay, once again I will share it. What about now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity is defined as the acceleration produced in a freely falling body due to the gravitational force of the earth. Acceleration due to gravity is defined as the acceleration produced in a freely falling body due to the gravitational force of the earth. Or you can simply define it in your own words. It is the acceleration due to the gravitational force of the earth. That is what is known as acceleration due to gravity. And this acceleration due to gravity is represented or denoted by a letter small g. Small letter g is used to represent the acceleration due to gravity. And it possesses a value that is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. We will derive this value using an equation. I will show it. Now you just copy down this value. Acceleration due to gravity, it is defined as the acceleration produced by the gravitational force of the earth. And it is denoted by the letter G. It is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Only need to copy down up to here. After that, we can discuss the mathematical derivation. Is it over? Okay. So here, acceleration due to gravity, you can define this acceleration due to gravity in your own words. It is the acceleration due to what? This acceleration due to gravitational force of the earth. Okay, acceleration due to gravitational force of the earth is known as acceleration due to gravity. Okay, acceleration due to gravity is nothing. It is the acceleration itself. How we are representing this acceleration? How we represent the acceleration? The simple acceleration. Simple acceleration. If the object is moving along a straight line, moves along a straight line, how we are represent the acceleration? Yes, which letter? Which letter is used? A. Very good. The letter A is used to represent the acceleration if the object is moves along a straight line. Okay. But now we are consider a special case. What is our special case? Now the object is moves along it not in a straight line. It's under the free fall, under the influence of gravitational force. Okay. So for a free fall, instead of this simple acceleration, we are using another term, that is acceleration due to gravity. It is represented by which letter?
G.
G. Okay. And it is called acceleration due to gravity because it is the acceleration possessed by the object due to the gravitational force of the earth. Okay. Then what about the SI unit of acceleration due to gravity? Can you guess the SI unit? What is acceleration due to gravity? It is nothing. It is acceleration itself. But this acceleration is only due to the presence of gravitational force. Okay. That is why we are, instead of representing A, here we are representing it with the letter, small letter G. Okay. Then can you guess what is the SI unit of acceleration due to gravity?
Meter per second square.
Meter per second square, because acceleration due to gravity is nothing. It is the acceleration itself. Okay. We know the S.
Ma'am, can you share the screen once again?
Okay. All right. So here For a straight line motion of an object, we know that if it is possess an acceleration, we represent it with small letter a, where small letter a is known as acceleration. But in the case of a free fall, here the object is accelerate, but here the acceleration of a freely falling object is due to the presence of whom? Due to the presence of gravitational force of the earth. That is why here the acceleration of a freely falling object is known as acceleration due to gravity, and it is denoted by the letter G. Okay, it is nothing, it is the acceleration itself, but we are specifying here by whom this acceleration is generated. This acceleration is generated due to gravity. Then SI unit of acceleration due to gravity is nothing. It is the SI unit of acceleration itself. And what is the SI unit of acceleration?
Meter per second square.
Meter per second square. So here the SI unit of acceleration due to gravity will be the same. It is also equal to meter per second square. Is it clear now? Is it clear? Okay. So both the acceleration and acceleration due to gravity are same. Instead of the letter A, here we are using the letter G, because here the acceleration possessed by the object is due to the gravitational force of the earth. So in order to indicate that gravitational force of the earth, instead of small letter A, here we are representing this acceleration by small letter G. And its SI unit will be same as that of the SI unit of acceleration. It is meter per second square. And it possesses a constant value. It is equal to what? It is equal to 9.8. Okay, 9.8 meter per second square. I will explain how will this value is obtained for acceleration due to gravity. Okay, and students, you may note this point also. For easiness of calculation, we are using this value for doing the numericals. And for the easiness of calculation, we can take this 9.8 approximately equal to 10 meter per second square, because it is somewhat equal to that of 10. So this 9.8 is approximately equal to 10 meter per second square. In order for the easiness of calculation, we can approximate this value of G is equal to 10. Is it clear now?
9.8 is the constant value of acceleration.
Yes. Yes, 9.8 is the constant value of acceleration. But in sometimes in physics, for the easiness of calculation, we can take instead of this 9.8, we can substitute the value as equal to 10. No problem, because there is not much variation will be there in the answer. Is it clear? Yes.
Ma'am, is it constant value of acceleration or acceleration due to gravity?
It is the constant value of acceleration due to gravity. Okay, 9.8 meter per second square is the constant value of acceleration due to gravity. It is not due to the simple acceleration, because in the simple acceleration, we cannot say a constant value. It will be very depend upon the velocity with respect to time. Okay. I will explain, then it will be more clear how this value becomes equal to 9.8 meter per second for acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So I hope that acceleration due to gravity is clear to you, right? You can define it in your own words. It is the acceleration due to gravitational force. This is what is known as acceleration due to gravity. It is represented by a letter G, small letter G. And its SI unit is same as that of the acceleration, meter per second square, but it possesses a constant value that is equal to 9.8 meter per second. For sometimes, for the easiness of calculation, this 9.8 can be approximately equal to 10 meter per second square. I will explain this while doing the numericals. It will be more clear. Okay. Now write the next heading. Mathematical derivation for acceleration due to gravity. Mathematical derivation for acceleration due to gravity. So instead of acceleration due to gravity, here I denoted it by small letter g. Okay, so mathematical derivation for g. Here we are going to derive an equation for calculating the value of g. So for that, I am just recalling the equation for force according to Newton's second law of motion. From Newton's second law of motion, we know that the force F is equal to, what is F?
M
Very good.
into A.
Good. F is equal to MA, M into A, right? From Newton's second law of motion, the force F is equal to MA. What is M represents? M,
Mass
mass,
of
and A,
acceleration.
acceleration. Okay, good. But for a free fall, for a freely falling object, we know that the symbol acceleration A is replaced by acceleration due to gravity G. For a freely falling object, this force F is equal to yes, M into. For a freely falling object, it is not simple acceleration. It is due to acceleration due to gravity. So this equation becomes F is equal to, instead of, very good, M into G. Okay, we know that for equation for calculating the force is this, F is equal to MA. F is equal to the product of mass and the acceleration. But for a freely falling object, as we told here, it is not simple acceleration. Here the acceleration is replaced by acceleration due to gravity, that is represented by small letter g. So the equation becomes F is equal to mg. Instead of ma, here it becomes mg. So put this as equation number 1. Okay, so for a freely falling object, the force acting on a body is given by F is equal to product of mass into acceleration. But for a freely falling object, acceleration is not a simple acceleration. It is due to the gravitational force of the earth, that is F is equal to mg. Okay, now from universal law of gravitation, between earth and object, we have F is equal to, try to recall the equation for universal law of gravitation between earth and object.
M into capital M into.
But instead of proportionality sign, here we are using a constant. What is that? Yes, it's right. Capital M into small m divided by r square. This is the gravitational force of attraction between earth and object. But before here we have a term. There is a proportionality constant here. What is that?
G.
Capital G. Very good. Capital G. So F is equal to G into M divided by R square. From the universal law of gravitation between earth and object, we know that F is equal to capital G into M divided by R square. This is our equation number 2. Okay. Now students, please compare the equation 1 and 2. Our equation 1 is this, F is equal to mg. F is equal to mg is our equation number 1. Compare this equation and this equation. Any familiarities here? What about the LHS of the equation? LHS means left hand side of the equation. Yes, unmute and say. Left hand side of equation 1 and left hand side of equation 2. Which term is present on the left hand side? Left hand side, F. So here on both LHS, both left hand side of the equation, we have the same term force. Okay, so what it is indicates, that is F is equal to mg. Here F is equal to g into mm divided by r square, which means we can equate equation 1 and 2 because their left hand side is same. So we can equate equation 1 and equation 2. Okay, so write the next step. Equate equation 1 and 2. Equate equation 1 and equation 2. Because here left hand side of the both equations are same. From the first equation it is F is equal to mg. Here the left hand side the term force is present. In the second equation here we have F is equal to g into capital M small m divided by r square. Here also F is the force. The force is the term present on the left hand side. So we can equate these two equations. So it becomes, equate the LHS of these two equations. It becomes mg is equal to capital G, capital M, small m divided by r square. Okay. So here we equate equation 1 and 2. Then we get mg is equal to gmm divided by r square. Okay. Then students, please help me to find out an equation for g from this equation, which implies g is equal to
capital G,
S.
M
by
Okay.
R by
R
R
square.
R
Divided by mr square, right? Because here
R
we
square
brought this m from left hand side to the right hand side. Okay. Any term cancels here?
M and M.
Very good. In the numerator and denominator, we have small m, it will cancel. Then we get g is equal to capital G, capital M divided by r square. So this is the equation for calculating the small g. Okay. So in this chapter, we are introducing two g's. One is a capital G, uppercase letter G, and one is small case. That is small letter G. Small letter G indicates what? Small letter G indicates small g. Here in this equation, small g. Very good. It is acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. Good. Okay. We can differentiate each term present in this equation. And capital G is universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant. All right. Then capital M. Capital M. No idea about capital M.
Mass
Isha,
of the object.
is it mass of the object?
Mass of the earth.
Mass of the earth. Very good. Capital M is not mass of the object. It is the mass of the earth. Here mass of the object is cancelled here in the above step. So capital M represents mass of earth. Okay, mass of earth. And what is this R represents? R.
Distance.
It is the distance, but in the special cases, one of them are said the answer here. It is the radius of the earth. Very good. It is the radius of the earth. Because whenever you consider the force of attraction between earth and object is placed on the surface of the earth. So we measure the distance from the center of the earth to that of the surface. So it becomes the radius of the earth. Radius of the earth. Okay. So the equation for calculating the acceleration due to gravity becomes G is equal to capital G, capital M divided by R square. Gm divided by R square. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then students, from this equation, can you say on what are the factors in which this acceleration due to gravity depends?
Mass of Earth.
Mass of the earth. Very good. Only depends on the mass of the earth.
Universal gravitation.
Oh yeah, okay. Universal gravitational constant is a constant. It's a constant. So you don't need to be mind about it. What about the other factor present in this equation?
It is inversely proportional to R square.
Very good.
1/5.
Excellent. Radius. It is inversely proportional to radius of the earth, but it is directly proportional to whom?
Mass of
Mass of the earth. Okay. So the acceleration due to gravity G depends on two factors. One is mass of the earth and the other is acceleration due to gravity. Sorry, other is radius of the earth. Okay, so then all of you write the next heading. Factors on which acceleration due to gravity depends. Factors on which acceleration due to gravity depends. Factors on which acceleration due to gravity depends. So this is our equation for calculating G. Small g is equal to capital G. It is a constant, universal gravitational constant, capital G into M divided by R square. So from this equation, we can write the factors on which the acceleration due to gravity depends. The first factor, small g, depends on what? It depends on the
mass of Earth.
mass of earth. It depends on mass of the earth. It depends on mass of the earth. The second factor, small letter g, that is our acceleration due to gravity, depends on what? Depends on
A radius.
Radius of the earth. It depends on radius of the earth. Okay, so we are going to discuss these two factors in detail in our next class. Now it's almost 1:37. The value of acceleration due to gravity G is depends on mass of the earth, and it is also depends on radius of the earth. So I have one more doubt. Does the value of acceleration due to gravity depends on the mass of the object?
No.
No. So from this equation, it is clear that the acceleration due to gravity does not depends upon the mass of the object. Okay. So you can write another characteristics, or you can write the acceleration due to gravity does not depends upon what? It does not depends upon the mass of the object. Okay, so that is what is today I want to show a video. That is what is we are discussed in the last class. Whenever we drop the two objects, that is we consider a feather and a stone. We drop a feather and a stone from a particular height. We know that both of them possess different mass. Coin possesses a higher mass than that of the feather. Okay, even though when we are drop it from a particular height, if it is drop from a particular height with a region where there is no air is present, you can see these two objects reaches on the ground at the same time. Okay, it is reaches on the ground at same time because acceleration due to gravity does not depends upon the mass of the object. Whatever be the object, it can be a lighter object or a heavier object, whatever it may be, it does not a factor. Acceleration due to gravity does not depends upon the mass of the object. If you are thrown any object from a particular height, from the same height, it will reach us on the earth at the same time. Is it clear? Okay, so we can discuss about it in the next class, why it is reaches in. Sometimes we are in the practical life, we are observed that whenever we drop these objects from a particular height, it will reach us in the ground at different time. So it is because of another phenomenon due to air resistance. We can discuss it in the next class. So let me take